Good morning, students. I am going to continue with the sixth chapter, that is conflict with Mughals, and I've already completed Shaista Khan's invasion, Jai Singh's invasion, visit to Agra, and escape from Agra. Now, today we will continue with coronation of Shivaji Maharaj. Now, coronation. This was a major event in life of Shivaji Maharaj. Now, before I start this part, a little more about coronation, some important facts. Shivaji had acquired extensive lands and wealth through his campaigns, but lacking a formal title, he was still technically a Mughal Jamindar or the son of a Bijapuri Jagirdar. With no legal basis to rule his de facto domain, a kingly title could address this and also prevent any challenges by other Maratha leaders, to whom he was technically equal. It would also provide Hindu Marathas with a fellow Hindu sovereign in a region otherwise ruled by Muslims. Controversy erupted amongst the Brahmins of Shivaji's court. They refused to crown Shivaji as king because that status was reserved for those of the Kshatriya, that is warrior Varna in Hindu society. Shivaji was descended from a line of headmen of farming villages, and the Brahmins accordingly categorized him as being of a Shudra, cultivator Varna. They noted that Shivaji had never had a sacred thread ceremony and did not wear the thread which a Kshatriya would. Shivaji summoned Gagabhat, a Pandit of Varanasi, who stated that he had found a genealogy, family tree, proving that Shivaji was descended from the Sisodiya Rajputs, and thus indeed a Kshatriya, albeit one in need of the ceremonies befitting his rank. To enforce this status, Shivaji was given a sacred thread ceremony and remarried his spouses under the Vedic rites expected of a Kshatriya. However, following historical evidence, Shivaji's claim to Rajput and specifically Sisodiya ancestry may be interpreted as being anything from tenuous at best to inventive in a more extreme reading. On 28 May, Shivaji performed penance for not observing Kshatriya rites by his ancestors and himself for so long. Then he was invested by Gagabhat with the sacred thread. On insistence of other Brahmins, Gagabhat dropped the Vedic chant and initiated Shivaji in a modified form of life of the twice born, instead of putting him on par with Brahmins. Next day, Shivaji made atonement for the sins which he committed in his own lifetime. Two learned Brahmins pointed out that Shivaji, while conducting his raids, had burned cities, which resulted in death of Brahmins, cows, women and children, and now could be cleansed of this sin for a price of only rupees 8,000. And Shivaji paid this amount. Total expenditure made for feeding the assemblage, general alms, giving throne and ornaments approached 5 million rupees. Now see, if you look at this, in Hindu religion, if you commit a sin, crime, you can only repent, but you can never get rid of that crime or sin. You have to pay for that. But here, the society was such that rituals played a very important role in medieval society, and nothing could be performed or accepted without approval and rituals performed by a Brahmin. This speaks about volume of or importance of rituals during medieval period. Otherwise, if you look at logically, 8,000 rupees were given to get rid of the sins. All, creation of society, all system of medieval society. Shivaji was crowned king of Maratha Swaraj in a lavish ceremony on 6 June 1674 at Raigad Fort. In the Hindu calendar, it was on the 13th day, Trayodashi, of the first fortnight of month of Jyeshtha in the year 1596. Gaga Bhatt officiated holding a gold vessel filled with 7 sacred waters of the rivers Yamuna, Indus, Ganges, Godavari, Narmada, Krishna and Kaveri over Shivaji's head and chanted the Vedic coronation mantras. After the ablution, Shivaji bowed before Jijabai and touched her feet. Nearly 50,000 people gathered at Raigad for ceremonies. Shivaji was entitled Shakhakarta, founder of an era, and Chhatrapati, paramount sovereign. He also took the title of Handava Dharmadhikari, that is Hindut Dharmadhikari, protector of Hindu faith. Shivaji's mother Jijabai died on 18 June 1674. The Marathas summoned Bengali Tantrik Goswami Nishalpuri, who declared that the original coronation had been held under inauspicious stars and a second coronation was needed. This second coronation on 24th September 1674 had a dual use, mollifying those who still believed that Shivaji was not qualified for Vedic rites of his first coronation by performing a less contestable additional ceremony. Now all this speaks about how important this coronation was, and also it gives an idea about medieval society, how religion was so important, how rituals were so important in medieval society. Now let us go to the chapter. The foundation of Maratha Swaraj involved a relentless struggle for over 30 years. For 30 years, Shivaji fought for this cause of Swaraj. Maharaj realized that now it was necessary for the Swaraj to win general recognition as a sovereign independent state. Now he wanted that his own area should be treated as an independent kingdom, no more a vassal of Adil Shahi or under Mughals. For this, a formal coronation was necessary. On 6 June 1674, he had himself crowned at Raigad by Gaga Bhatt, a learned Pandit. Maharaj ascended, set the throne of Swaraj. He now became Chhatrapati of the Swaraj. As a symbol of sovereignty, the Rajabhishek Shaka, the coronation era, was started. Now all these Rajabhishek Shaka or coronation era, all these things were started by Rajput kings long time back, and all these things were done to prove that now he was a crowned king, no more a vassal, no more under Mughals or Adil Shahi. Maharaj became the founder of a new era. On the occasion of coronation, special coins were minted. A gold coin called Hoon and a copper coin called Shivrai was minted with the legend Shri Raja Shiv Chhatrapati inscribed on them. Now we all know this minting of gold coin was started by Greeks in 6th standard we have studied, and the system was brought to India, and later on Guptas, Chandragupta Maurya and later kings, they started minting gold and silver coins to prove that they were king. And same thing was done by Shivaji Maharaj in medieval time to prove that now he was himself a king, no more under anyone. Thereafter, all royal correspondence that is Rajpat carried the words Kshatriya Kulvantans Shri Raja Shiv Chhatrapati. A dictionary showing Sanskrit alternatives for Persian words was prepared. It is known as Raj Vyavhar Kosh. Now some equivalent words in Raj Vyavhar Kosh are worth mentioning. For example, Uda Kitab, Padvi Farman, Raj Patra Jamin, Pratibhuti Hali, Samprat Maji, Purv, Filhal, Tatkal, Wahwa Uttam, Wakub, Pragya, Bewakoof, Mood, Dastpeshi, Hastasparsh, Mulahad, Darshan, Kadamposhi, Padasparsh, Jhoot, Mithya, Kaulnama, Abhay, Fateh, Vijay, Firyad, Anyaya Varta, Shiledar, Swaturgi. Now these were the words equivalent to other words. The coronation of Shivaji Maharaj was a revolutionary event in history of medieval India. While explaining the importance of this event, Sabhasad, a contemporary chronicle, historian, or one who kept record of day-to-day affairs of the king at the court, writes, it was no mean achievement for a Maratha king to become such a great Chhatrapati. Shortly after this, on 24 September 1674, Shivaji Maharaj had his second coronation performed under the guidance of Nishchalpuri Goswami. There were two traditions of religious ceremonies in India, Vedic and Tantric. Maharaj honored both the traditions and had two coronation ceremonies performed. Again, importance of rituals. Prince Sambhaji Raje was 17 years old at time of coronation of Shivaji Maharaj. He has described the coronation ceremony in treatise Buddha Bhushanam. In detail, entire ceremony has been described by Sambhaji Raje. It is based on his own experience. Without measuring or counting, plenty of money, clothes, elephants, horses were donated to the great scholars who had come to attend the coronation ceremony from different regions. Thus Shivaji Maharaj spread his fame in different directions. As earlier told, 5 million rupees were spent on coronation ceremony. For that time, 400 years back, 5 million rupees is a big, huge amount. An extremely valuable and grand throne was made for the coronation of Shivaji Maharaj. There were 8 bejeweled pillars on 8 sides of the throne. This throne, made of 32 man of gold, had been studded with precious jewels. Now, man is, how we are using kilogram. Man was unit of measurement during medieval period, and 1 man is equal to 40 kilograms. 37.22 something, but actually it is counted as 40 kilogram. So you multiply that and it will come around 1280 kilograms. Just imagine the amount of money spent on making of that gold. Itself shows the glory of Shivaji Maharaj. After that, Shivaji Maharaj started his campaigns, the campaign of South. 3 years after coronation in October 1677, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj undertook a campaign of South. He went to Golconda. There he called on Qutub Shah. He entered into a treaty of friendship with him. Later, Maharaj won Bengaluru, Hoskote in Karnataka, Jinji and Vellore, forts in today's Tamil Nadu district, and some other territories of Adil Shahi. See, a very important point. Shivaji's father was a Jamindar and Shivaji was a Jamindar, a vassal under Adil Shahi. Now, since he was a crowned king, now he wanted to prove that he was a crowned king. So, all these areas which were, under Adil Shahi, Shivaji conquered them and brought under his own control. Now, straight away he gives a point that no more he is a vassal. Now, he himself is a crowned king, Chhatrapati. He appointed Raghunath Narayan Hanumante, the chief administrator, to look after these conquered territories. Vyankoji, the half brother of Shivaji Maharaj, was then ruling at Tanjavur. Shivaji Maharaj tried to get him to participate in the activities of Swaraj. This way, he tried to bring his own half brother on his own side. After Vyankoji Raje, the rulers of Tanjavur encouraged art and learning. The Saraswati Mahal library is world famous. In this campaign of South, Maharaj had annexed the fort of Jinji in Tamil Nadu to his Swaraj. This proved to be of great importance in later years. When the Mughal emperor stayed put in Maharashtra to destroy Swaraj, the then Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj had to leave Maharashtra for reason of safety. See, all these areas which Shivaji conquered, later on they proved to be of great help and importance to Maratha rulers. At that time, he took shelter in this southern fort of Jinji and ran the administration of Swaraj from there. Soon after the victorious campaign of the south, Shivaji Maharaj passed away on Raigad on 3rd April 1680. His death at the age of 50 was a great loss for Swaraj. A great era came to an end. Now, at age of 50 he died. He started his campaign of Swaraj around 1314. That means more than 30 years of his lifetime was spent in fighting war, continuous warfare, and all this took toll on his own health. And once he had completed his dream of Swaraj, once he was a crowned king, a Chhatrapati in his own right, no more under Adil Shahi, he must have had satisfaction. And at age of 50, Shivaji Maharaj passed away. This is the contribution of Shivaji Maharaj in history of India. A great era came to an end. That is why Shivaji is referred as an ideal ruler, first nation builder, who dreamed of Swaraj. Same Swaraj which Indian freedom fighter spoke about. Lokmanya Tilak said, Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it. Same Swaraj Shivaji Maharaj dreamed, fulfilled under adverse circumstances, fighting against Mughals and Adil Shahis. This is where importance of Shivaji Maharaj can never be undermined. A great ruler, a great patriot of Hindu religion, a great nation builder. I have completed the chapter. Please go through the chapter, read it thoroughly. Any difficulty, please do ask me. Take care, stay home, be safe. Thank you.